Post-game here in Newark on a Saturday, the third to last game of the regular season, NJIT and Maine, with head coach Mike Lane, Drew Casey. Coach, this was a game that was within reach at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
It changed in the second half. You end up losing by more than 20. What did change as the game went on?
Well, it was a tale of two halves, exactly. We made way too many mistakes, unfortunately, in that third quarter. We had 8 turnovers in that quarter alone. So you're just not getting shots up, and you're not going to be, if you're not getting shots up against Maine, their offense is such a force. I thought we got a little bit fortunate there in those first 2 or 3, 4 minutes. Actually, they were missing wide open shots, and I was like, they're not going to miss wide open shots. So we kind of were hanging around there at 9, 10, 11, and then they finally made a couple, and it gets up to 18, 19, 20 in a hurry. So I thought we got they executed against us, which is what they do. But our defense was very different in that third quarter, but all credit to Maine. They just got us twisted around. We were confused. Again, that's happened in the second half when they're away from our bench and they're getting a lot of instruction from their teammates as much as the staff. And we just gotta find that. But today was that Princeton offense is hard to guard. So there's a lot to go on. And when you have a kid like Smith in the middle that makes everything go, you got to double her sometimes, or you don't double her. When you double her, you got to have the right rotations, and we just didn't have the right rotations enough times, and they hit some shots.
How difficult is it to make those decisions in game when you have Smith who does go for 25, 13, 4 assists, and Simon was limited in this game, I would say.
Yeah.
But how difficult is it to make those decisions on the fly?
Yeah, it's just really hard. They're players of the year. Both those kids have a player of the year, trophy. It's we don't have anybody like that. They're really good. And Simon's 24 years old. I mean, she's older than Cam. She doesn't make mistakes. She had 6 turnovers, and it still feels like she doesn't make mistakes. It's just so good. I thought there were some great possessions. I was really pleased, obviously, at halftime, but I was also I thought that was the difference in the game, where we had cut it to 5. We allowed Talon to go and get that late one to get it to 7. Then they get it to 9 coming off I don't think they scored in the first possession, but we didn't score in the first possession. And then in their second possession of the second half, they got up 9. And that's a big number for our team. We're not climbing back. We're not scoring a lot of points. Again, I thought we had our nose above water there for a while. We couldn't execute, unfortunately, on the offensive end, and I probably had them in the wrong stuff because we just couldn't find a bucket today, unfortunately. But again, I thought Maine defended us really well, didn't won the paint, and so it was a struggle in the second half to find a good shot.
Black Bears tied for first in the conference. What can you take from this game? Still, the final number, I think, is a bit larger than the way the game was played for 30-ish minutes, 28-ish minutes. What can you take into the final week of the regular season in hopes of continuing past that point?
Yeah, no, I definitely think there's positives. Obviously, we still have a pulse. That's good. So we're not dead. And this was going to be a tough. They're the first place team.
Yeah.
And they should have. Obviously, everybody thought they would probably win Thursday night. They could be a solo first place. I mean, this is a very good team, a very good program. I have great respect for them. This was going to be a big win to get them. So I'm like I said, I love the first 20 minutes. I don't love the next 20 minutes. We just need to find that 20 minutes of the first half a little bit more this week, or we won't be playing much more basketball. And so I think our girls know that. Obviously, we dropped both games to UMBC and Bryant. So we have another big challenge for us. But I totally think what we've done against Albany, even against Binghamton, against Maine here a little bit, and Vermont, we're showing some signs. It's just not long enough, and we need to play 40 minutes of good basketball on Thursday night.
Well, Coach, the UNH did lose earlier in the day, so you do remain in the same spot you were when the day began, 1 game out with 2 to play, hoping for to win Thursday, like you said, and see what the situation looks like.
We have to win out.
Go from there.
Yep, we have to win out because we just know we have to win out, basically. Because if New Hampshire gets one, then they have, that goes all tiebreaker stuff. And so we got to win out. We got to play our best basketball at the end of the year. But, it's obviously the playoffs are there, and we got to talk about it. We just got to play better basketball. We're not, and I don't think our kids are that. We're talking about it as we've talked. We have to mention it. We have to know where we are, but we just have to play better basketball. And I just thought we made some really kind of poor decisions there in that third quarter where I think we could have kept the ball in our possession. Those are the killer ones. And Simon's going to get a steal. Smith is going to get a steal, Talon's going to get a steal. When they earn it, it's fine. You know, like it's just when we're giving them the basketball, that's the tough ones, and we've had quite a few of those, unfortunately.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. We will be watching on Thursday and then back here at home on Saturday.
Yep.
Best of
Big
luck.
week. Thanks.
Big week. Head coach Mike Lane here with us post-game following Maine over NJIT on this Saturday afternoon.